guys, welcome back to another exciting farming week in Ghana. If today is your first time seeing me on this channel, my name is Charles Entry. I'm a tax consultant and I'm passionate about farming. So here on my channel, I do talk about farming in Ghana. So yeah, today, from the previous video, we are at Gabi's residence. We are here to look at his fish farming. In the first part of the video, we talked extensively about fish farming, how he started, how he got into it. This part of the video looks at what he does on his fish farm. Have a look at the catfish that he is into. So yeah, join me as we get into the video. And yes, if you are watching me, the goal is to reach 800 subscribers by the end of this month. So kindly do me a favor by hitting on the red button to subscribe and putting your notification so you get notified when I drop a new video. Let's get into the video. Okay.
Alright, so I started with these guys. So these ones I took 100 of them, but then that's the 100 cedis I bought.
Okay.
But then the guy gave me 105. And so
additional 5.
Yeah, so some decided to die. They chose to die because I didn't know how to handle them in a way. And so now I have about 96 in the pond right now. And when you look at them, they are very vicious. That is when they are very hungry. And so sometimes they can die because maybe the water is so dirty. Sometimes they can kill each other, or the space in which you place them in is not big enough.
Not that big enough.
Yes, and then also probably because one is injured, or one is not well, one is sick. And so when there's that issue, sharp,
The mortality.
they'll just let you go. So right now, if like let's say one is bleeding and they are very hungry, they can feast on that one. Yeah, that's how
They can
are.
feast- wow.
Yeah, they'll kill you. They'll kill you. They don't like weaklings amongst them at all. So
Interesting.
that is why you see them like this. So when you look at them, you see.
And the aggressive one feeding too.
Yes, that's how they are. That's how they are. And they are called catfish because of the kind of seemingly the whiskers that they have. So yeah.
So the water, is it pipe borne or like you have a specific kind of water you use?
So this one is actually pipe borne. But then I stored the water for a while, for like some few days. So like 3 days because of the chlorine in the water, so that the sunlight will at least reduce the chlorine content. That's what I've been using, nothing else. I've not taken any fresh water before to give to them. No. And then look at them, they are growing quite okay. These ones I started, that was December, I think 21st. Yeah, and then today is let's say we are in February, ending of February. So they're approximately almost
2.5 or something.
Yes. And then look at how they are looking so nice.
And so they take 6 months to mature, right?
Yeah, they take 6 months. So after this stage, you see the way they are eating.
Yeah.
So after this stage, they'll eat more. They'll be eating more. So by the time they'll be 2 months to almost 3 months, I start preparing myself for more money. That is because I don't have a lot of money. If I had a lot of money, I would have just bought all the bags that I would need and then get them down. So that is why you look at them, and they are nice. Like they are nice. When you just look at them, they are nice. And let me ask you, how next time, I don't know, next time if you just come and pay a visit to me, okay. I'll just get one big one. At that time they'll be very big.
That matured, yeah.
And then we'll just try and then get you something to eat, and then you try and you see.
I think that would
because see, eating something that hasn't been refrigerated and is quite fresh tastes differently
than it's been refrigerated.
Yes, and that is the concept. I have big refrigerators that I thought I would have used them, but now with the concept I'm carrying, I don't want to even refrigerate them. So if you want some, this is what I'll do. When you come here, okay, I want this guy and then this girl, then I just go like
pick and kill.
I just pick them for you, and then you just go. If you say you want them fresh too as well, I have maybe a chest or something that I'll place them in like inside, but I'll make sure that they wouldn't be dead. No, they'll come the way so that unless you tell me that, Charlie, I want fresh, but then kill them this morning.
Okay.
And then I'll just get them killed for you.
Like I want to take us through like the structure.
Alright.
I have a pond because I can see some pumping machines or some tubes and other things.
Good.
How can someone do? How do you go about that one?
So when we constructed this pond, I don't know for what reason, but then we didn't create an outlet.
Okay.
Yes, we didn't create an outlet. But then because we need to be changing the water because of their feed and all of those things, so I decided to try as much as possible to get a valve. So I created this. So there is a valve down there that picks the water. And then it runs through this. Now the power for the valve is through this motor. So it's the pump we use. But this one I'm using 1.5 horsepower.
Okay.
But I want it to be fast. I don't want to come and spend like
A lot of time pumping the water out.
just trying to get water out. Now when I pump the water out, it passes through this, and then I have this. So this side, when I open it, which is currently open, what happens is the water pumps out, just goes out. So if I want to water any of the plantains or any of the things I have around, I just get the water from here and then I use it to water.
Okay.
Now they are fish. Now their feed and all of these things can also serve as some level of fertilizer for the produce,
Okay.
for the plantain and all of those. So now this one runs out, and then maybe I want to, let me say, filtrate the water that they are taking. So I decided to just watch YouTube videos on how to construct your own filter, and then I try to to create this thing. So in the filter I have gravels, I have different sizes of gravels, I have nets, and then I place some cloth inside. There's charcoal inside as well, so that
in this filter, right?
yeah, in this filter, so that it will at least take absorb some of the toxic in the water and then pump it back into it. So if I put it on, what happens is this: it runs in, goes through here, passes through this, and then goes in back.
Okay,
yes.
so it just filters the water.
Yes, good. Now I have my inlets at that end.
Okay.
So what I just, and I punched some holes around it.
So you can see.
Yes. So what happens is this: when I open it, I don't want the water splashing inside, like so. That's why I punch the hole. So it appears like this. And normally when you open the water, fresh water, they come towards the fresh water. All of them will try coming towards the fresh water. Yes, they like the fresh water. And also they listen to vibration. So normally when you want to feed them, when I'm feeding them, I don't feed them while I have opened the tap. You get it?
Okay.
It's two things. Either I feed them after I'm done feeding them, then I allow the water to go before I open
for a new one
yes.
to come in.
But then I don't let the water is dropping inside the pond, and then I'm still no. The probability that they'll have divided attention is very high. You get it? So yes, look at them. So that place, it looks like the water is
fresh
water. They will just move towards that side. They love fresh water, and fresh water makes them grow well.
Okay,
It
so
makes them
that
grow
brings
well.
my question. So how often do you change the water?
Initially I change water every day.
Okay.
Every day I change my water, every single day. But then this particular one, I don't change every day.
Is there a reason?
Is water, because the water is too much.
Okay.
If I'm changing this
Okay.
level of water every time, it will be a headache. At least this is at least more than 3,000 liters, and so that's a lot of water to be wasting every time. So sometimes I leave the water. So sometimes what I do is this: in the morning, I reduce the water in it by 25%. So
Okay.
it's just by marking. All right, just to some extent. Then in the evening, so when I reduce it by 25, I pump some water in it. Then in the evening, you come again and then you do the same thing.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So something that, so like
the balance between the fresh and the I
yes,
get you.
yes. And so whilst you are reducing, you are pumping it out, and then that kind of thing. And so anytime I look at these guys, I know that I am on the right track. And then recently I had someone from the Fisheries Commission. I tried so hard to get to them, but God being so good, I just met someone who just
knew someone there.
yes, and then he just came, and then he came to look at what I'm doing, and he actually told me that I am doing so well because someone who hasn't really been through any kind of training. This is how I feed them. If I put the food in it and they are eating, I keep on until I see that they are no more eating. If they are no more eating, it's two things: I stop. If there are some of the feed at the top, I can't waste my money.
You just take them off.
Sharp. I have my that thing is like a colander. I use it.
Oh, okay.
And then I pick the feed back, let it dry for a
dry
while.
them.
Give it back. They'll eat. You get it.
I get you.
They'll eat. And currently, I've not had issues with disease yet. No. But then I read and I learned somewhere that if they are not well, you can, aside the antibiotics that they give to them, you can just blend bitter leaf blend bitter leaf. So like let's say I have 3 vortex waters, let me say 1 liter, because of
the blended bitter leaf.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I pour the let me say the one with the chaff, just the juicy
one.
Yes, I just pour them inside and allow it to be inside for like an hour or 2, and then I flush it out and then fresh water. That's all. You get it. So that is basically, and so far nothing of that sort. So I've been discussing with them too that they shouldn't get ill because it is getting.
But so do you have an idea the kind of sickness or disease they might get? Since you've not gotten one, so no. And then another thing is this. So I tried as much as possible to talk to most of the guys who, so like where I bought my fingerlings from. So I talked to the guy. Those people, they give me some level of advisory services. I talk to them. Okay. And then also I have the guy who introduced me to it. If there's anything I should see anything funny right now, I'll just take my phone, take a picture of it, and then I'll call him and then I'll tell him this, and sometimes I'll just rush straight to his place and tell him that this and this and this, because they are my money. If they start dying right now, I'm losing money. For any fish that dies, we said one was 20 cedis, right?
Yes. So it's they sell 20 cedis for a kg.
Okay.
So they can be more than 1 kg. They can be more than 1.5 kg, depending on you and how you feed them. Yes. Which I think last week Saturday I was feeling for catfish. I was feeling the desire to eat catfish. So I called a certain group of people, I think around Jolu. And they said, oh, for the 1.2 is 55 cedis.
Wow.
And then the 1.5 is 65. So I asked them, is Banku inclusive? The woman said, no, you buy them. I was like, wow, this thing is lucrative. I'm not going to joke with this thing at all. No. I won't joke with them.
So one other probably advice I can also, I'm part of this group on Facebook. There's this catfish group that they don't have this kind of farming groups.
Yeah.
Particular one is a catfish group.
Okay.
Almost every time someone is educating on how to go about it. So those who are part of that community, when they face any challenge with what they are doing, they just take a picture, put it there. It gets people constantly will help you with the problem you are facing, whether it's a disease, whether they are fighting, what to do and all. So you can also probably try them out so that it helps.
Yeah. So at a point they told me that I need to do what they call sorting.
Okay.
So sometimes when you feed them, some will go bigger than the others. So sometimes you do sorting, you separate those ones from. But sometimes the funny thing is this: one guy can be so big, and then the rest can look small. And when it's time for them to kill, they'll kill the big one.
Wow.
Yes, they can kill the big one. So nowadays the
fact that you are big doesn't mean you are strong too.
Yes. So I try as much as possible not to get them hungry. So even though let's say I'm supposed to give them 200 grams of feed every day, the 200 grams, what I do is maybe, since I'm mostly in the house, what I do is I just pick, maybe give them after 2-3 hours. I come in and do again, go back, and I come in and I do again, and then so that I don't want at any point in time somebody's hungry and he's just looking at the other person and is like, Charlie,
just consume that again.
No. So that's what I've been doing, and then they don't die. So you look at them, and they are very strong. They are very, very strong. Until recently, I realized catfish was so nice. I didn't really know that. I didn't know. I went to my mom's. Place at a time. I think in the course of last month, and then she prepared soup, and then there was catfish inside. I didn't know. I was eating. I was like, "Hey, which fish?" They said, "Hey, you don't know this thing. This is your catfish that you've been doing." I was like, "Oh wow."
Yeah, the taste.
Yeah.
There's a joint at Spintex that they do this.
Point and kill. Yeah, I've seen that.
Nice. Let's look at the other ponds. So aside this one, we can see. So you began with this, right?
Yeah. So I started with these guys. They were first in this town. Okay. So after almost 2 months, I decided to just put them
to this pond.
So this pond, they've not really spent like 3 weeks in this pond yet.
Okay, so they're fresh ones.
Yeah, but then they are looking very responsive, so it means you're on track.
Okay. So for those watching us, see at times probably you might not be able to construct something like this at home. You can get some.
So I started with these tanks. This tank we had it in the house, so I just picked it up and then I just cut it myself. and then there's an outlet. It has an outlet here. But then I decided to change the outlet here, and I placed this over here so that I can have my long valve and then do whatever thing I want to do. Yes, and then the inlet, I use my pipe hose to just pump water
into it.
Yes, into it. Until recently, I said maybe let me do a setup where I'll automatically just have them pump it. So when I just open the tap and I open the valves, water will just. So that's when I started doing all of this.
So how many fingerlings can this tank contain?
So it depends on the let's say if in their first month this tank can take over 5,000. Yes, in their first month. But then when they are growing, you need to be separating them.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to be separating them. So let's say from the stage where they are fries to they become fingerlings, before they become juveniles sharp, you try and then you separate them, and then that is where you do your sorting. So hey, all the big guys come here, so
you can at least concentrate on the small ones.
And then you look at these guys, you can drop some feed and look at them. So they know normally when I come here, they know I'm coming to feed them.
Okay.
So then they come up, and then I used to work with a time frame.
Okay.
Around that time, the moment you come around, you see them at the top. Yeah.
But they are used to the time you feed them. So once it's around that time, they know that okay. Time
so you can pour some and then look at something. You can pour. Like they are very, very like.
So the way they feed you is very this one.
Oh, yeah. Fast. They'll just kill it. They'll just. So if you realize that the force they are using to eat the feed is coming down, it means that they are getting satisfied.
Okay.
So then it means that. So like let's say I have fed them, and then there's some of the feed on the top
still, and they're not eating it.
I just pick up that colander thing and I just use it to fresh. And look at them, because they know that probably.
Do they bite?
These ones, their teeth is not strong enough to hurt me.
But like the fully matured ones, they can.
No, their teeth is like it has no.
Okay. Yeah.
But they have something around on the side of their body, and then sometimes it can just prick you. It's a fin. Fins can prick.
Fins. Okay,
yeah.
I get you.
So that kind of thing too. Because when I've seen people with let's say over 1,000 fish, and then someone is walking inside and all of that. So yeah, if he can do that, and me, if me, I can do this. Oh, anybody
can do it. You are watching us. Trust me.
If me,
you have a house. Just get a tank. This tank is not occupying that much space.
If me, I can do it. And if somebody wants, maybe let's say, okay, Gabby, this is what I want to do. This is my money. We can just. I can just show you. Okay, let's get this tank. Let's get this. Let's do this. You are good to go. You are good to go because these things. And then as I was saying, I know the market is the demand in the market is so high. I don't think only me I can meet that the demand in the market. No. So let's say we have like 100 farmers who are all doing from their backyard, and then every month we can meet we can supply up to like let's say 10,000 fish every month. We are good to go. You understand? When I say farmers, I'm not talking about people who are 60. No, I'm looking at young guys and young girls and all of that.
Basically, that's the aim of this channel. Yeah. The young guys should get involved into farming. It's not that you have to go. Oh, that's what you're thinking of. Oh, you have to start farming. I heard farming is lucrative. Farming is lucrative now. If you are home doing anything, if you are doing something, you can also get involved in it.
Yeah.
So can you let us know where you get your fingerlings from? So someone watching us also want to go and buy it can also go and yes.
So currently I buy it from somewhere around Santor. Yeah, there's a Nigerian guy heading towards Ashama from Ashalibokwe. Okay. There's a town there's Santor. He sells one for 1 cedi for the fingerlings. So when you just go, if you want 1,000 of them, you give him 1,000 and then he give you, and you just add a few to it. But then I'm also trying as much as possible within the next 2 months to also start producing my own fingerlings. So I have a container over there which we'll be using for that purpose, where we'll be making our fingerlings, and then they'll get to the stage where we can also
Sell the
yes, we
fingerlings.
can also sell them. So basically, the people who will contact me and say, oh, this and this and this, if you want just 100 to try, I could be able to give it to you to also try.
Give it a try.
Yes, so that before you even go into 5,000 or 1,000 or whichever number, if it's 20 crowd, I'll give it to you. Then just use it to do that.
Sure.
To help those who have small money. Yeah, so that is.
So I'll drop his contact, and a guy also sells the fingerlings too in the comment section, so you can also have that and call.
Yeah. So I have this space which I'm going to clear. I'm still clearing. I'm not done.
Okay.
And then some of the bitter leaf I used to treat them. I planted some here because of the kind of water I'm getting. So for the expansion I was talking about, I have tarpaulins that will be able to handle 1,000 each. Each tarpaulin can handle 1,000 of them to maturity. Yeah. Good. So now what I'm going to do is this: from this side to the wall, and then to like where your man is standing, 2 meter wide, can handle the 1,000 of them. And so when I look at this space from here to like here, can handle 1,000, 1,000, and then 1,000. So I'm looking at 3,000 around this space. Okay, 3,000 fish. It's not small.
Oh yeah.
And then at the other side, I'm doing a round pond, a round tarpaulin also that can also handle 1,000 as well. So that by the time I'll end, let's say by December, I should be able to supply 5,000 at this place.
As well.
So, and funny enough, there could be somebody who is watching, we can even use that person's space to do 10,000, to do 15,000, and all of that. Now the problem is maybe the person will say, oh, I don't have money. There is a way to go around all of these things. Sure. There is a way to go around all of these things. So sometimes there are people who sell their fish around 4th month. And they are the smoked ones you see small, they sell at the market. Okay. So around that time, when they are almost around that time, you just harvest them and then just smoke them and then just sell them. And the smoked one too sells. It sells a lot. They sell them around 60 cedis or so for a kg, or 70 cedis for a kg.
Wow.
Yes, for the smoked ones. So Charlie, what are you waiting for?
Yeah, what are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
Yeah, I think that brings us to draw the curtains on our video. What are you waiting for? As he said, if you are there, you don't know what to do, looking for something to get involved in, you can start. Fish farming is that lucrative. Catfish farming is lucrative. People buy catfish each and every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for sticking with me to this point in time. I hope you've learned something. I hope from now onwards you can also start your own fish farming. Yeah, and also get into the farming business. Thank you for watching. Kindly click on the subscribe button to subscribe and put me on notification to get notified when I drop a new video. Thank you, and catch you next week.